Hello and welcome. As several of my friends and I play some tabletop RPGs, this is the second of a two-shot of a game I'm calling Hit the Streets, Defend the Block, which is a hack of one of my favorite RPGs called One Percenter, which is about outlaw biker gangs. But this is totally different from that because it's street level vigilante slash super heroes. I actually don't use the word hero to describe player characters in this book. In fact, I don't even say player characters. Let's say superpowered beings. I don't know. I changed all the names. It's weird. But this game is about street level super heroics and folks who have like a day job. They don't have a PR contract and commercials or their own action figures. They also don't even wear capes because capes are for people who can fly, and none of the SPBs or characters in this game can actually fly, because if you could fly, you could just fly away from your problems, and you have to have a day-to-day job, and you've got families and people in the neighborhood who depend on you. And so the idea behind this game is inspired by the likes of the Marvel Knights, Knights series of comics, as well as the Marvel Netflix series. Sadly, now canceled, all of them. They were brilliant, as well as shows like the Black Lightning on CW, which I think is pretty great. With that in mind, this is the second shot, so we've got a couple of characters that are already established, and then we're joined by two new characters. So, Tara, hello. Could you please remind us of your character?
Sure. I play Shroud. Their day name is Coral. They work at an escape room, and they sort of are in charge of creating all the challenges and managing and making sure people actually have fun with it. Unfortunately, they also get stuck with some menial work, as we saw in the last playtest. Their powers are twofold. They can look into other people's minds, uh, sort of parse through memories, and then shroud those that she chooses, so make them forget some stuff. And they also have super movement. They can teleport through shadows. So, yep. Uh, they also have Coral also has hair on one side of their head that's sort of rainbow. But when they turn into Shroud, it goes dark.
And we've established that as the GM or game manager, I've decided that she does not have to have a third power to cover her hair coloration. It was a specific question, and I was magnanimous. And you, if you're running Hit the Streets, Defend the Block, you can do that too. Tara, I appreciate it. Oh, and thank you for pointing out the medial tasks that sometimes you're forced to do, because that was one of the spots.
It was gross.
It was gross. Super gross. Super gross. Jen, please remind us of your character.
I am playing Threads, whose given name is Chris Coates. She is a mild-mannered student and seamstress at the Sterling Garment Care dry cleaning place near, right on Main Street, really, near the Mindbenders and the Hanged Giraffe, where we tend to hang out. Chris has had the power to control fabric for basically most of her life. I imagine that if you were trying to do a recap, you'd have a quick one panel where a little baby Chris is having like a tea party, and like her teddy bears are actually walking around and genuinely serving her tea instead of her doing it for them and pretending that they're doing it for her. And Threads also has the ability to sense fabric. It's sort of a quality sensitive semi-diagnostic fabric radar, which is handier than it sounds.
Yes. I have been taught that during the last session that, yeah, it's pretty darn handy, and has worked out pretty well. Alex, who's, by the way, the cover artist for Hit the Streets, Defend the Block, thank you for joining us. if you could introduce us to your character.
Yeah, I'm Magpie. Her day name is Catherine Kerrigan. She's a high school teacher. And she also used to be ex-Special Forces, tasked with taking down superpowered beings in a team, not just alone. So she has her powers, in inverted commas, are that she has acquired through means a stash of experimental weaponry and gadgets from her old days. And also she is, being ex-Special Forces, she is highly trained. Specifically in how to go toe-to-toe with a superhero, Fighting Wolverine. Oh, look at those sharp claws. Let's stick those in your neck and pin you to a wall.
Nice.
Divert the flow of super strong people and, trick very fast people.
Now, you've acquired a stash of experimental weapons. Are you thinking that Magpie, she has access to these things, but she isn't herself a gadgeteer, so a little more kind of like Batman than say...
She understands the stuff. I think she could modify it a little bit, but she couldn't build it herself from scratch.
Very cool.
Beyond
okay. Yeah, I dig that. I dig that a bunch. Awesome. And for folks who are checking this out, Magpie is now a featured character. Like you're a signature this is a signature character, kind of like, because Magpie is the first hero you see in the book. And it's one of my favorite of your many illustrations that we have in the book. Thank you very much, Alex. Adam has helped out with the book in editing, and it's the first time he has played this game, though he has written his own Hack of One Percenter for Mecha. So happy to have you on board. Adam, tell us about your character.
So, Pipe Man is a kind of salt-of-the-earth everyman named Zane Coltrane, and he's a part-time firefighter, but they're severely underfunded, and their firehouse is condemned in this part of the neighborhood, so they don't even really have a firehouse, so they're all scattered to essentially acting like volunteer emergency. So to make ends meet, he also is part-time sanitation hydrologist, and he is assisted in that by being able to transform portions of his body into water at need, which allows him, when he doesn't really like to do it because he doesn't like to be flashy, but lets him stretch essentially through places human bodies shouldn't be able to fit, and down drains and whatnot, and then also fill in any injuries he incurs, some injuries he incurs, even though they still hurt a bunch. So a little bit of the Mr. Fantastic and Wolverine, but just a normal guy that likes to help out. And I think he got his powers by drowning in that lake right when it got hit by lightning or something. And now he is partially water. So he's just always slightly sweaty.
So you're saying that he went by Pipe Man because someone told him that just calling himself the Moist.
Well, Pipe Man's also the front guy on a firefighter hose that goes into the fire and aims it. So he does that with just his body. It's handy.
Nice. Cool. And I know that Catherine, aka Magpie, has a kid. What about Zane's family?
Oh yeah. So his dad is Roscoe. He's a early retired beat cop who got injured in his back. So he's a little sort of a do-gooder himself, but kind of cynical and sort of beaten down. And then his mom is a shift foreman at Iron Case Furniture Factory.
Oh,
and
perfect.
then he also has Raza as his teen brother, who's just in school. Teen brother, not twin brother.
Could we have Raza perhaps? Oh, let me double check and make sure I'm not mixing things up in my head. I am. Okay.
I watched the videos, but I'm very open to any suggestions on how to be tied in more tightly.
No, I like that so it's his mother that works at Iron Case as a shift foreman?
Yep.
Okay.
And they kind of all have to pull together to make ends meet.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, I dig it. So he's not married or attached, doesn't have any kids, just kind of part of the
I
extended
think
family?
he probably has kind of an early stage girlfriend, maybe, but he's not sure if she's into it.
Nice.
I don't have a name for that. I just decided that right now.
I like it. That is good. Awesome. So then the next piece.
Oh, sorry, I forgot
Yeah.
an important part. They also he takes care of Dahlia, which is the Dalmatian rescue dog from the condemned firehouse that couldn't go anywhere else. That's an important one. I'm not a pet person myself in real life, so I'm trying to practice empathy by caring about a pet in a game.
You just need to pretend to have empathy. If you get a couple free minutes, if you can, in the NPCs and places, just jot down
all the folks.
Yeah, the folks that you got there, that would be awesome. If not, I wrote them down, so I'll circle back around and stick them in if you're not able to get to it. But for now, we'll go to our next step, which is where you at? A little bit of the neighborhood now. Last session, we did the lion's share of the work on the neighborhood, but I wanted for each of our two new characters to put something in here. So as part of this step in the world creation for the neighborhood, you need to draw a street or a line, and just so you know, there's a scribble if you want to do a specific line, or you can do a line or elbow or curved or whatever you want. We'll have Adam. You can go ahead and go first, and if you could just draw a line, that'll be the street that Zane lives on, and then you'll need to stick in where his home is.
Okay. Can I do it just there?
It works.
I know someone else is already there, but can he just be in Arbor Pines? That's apartments, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I share?
Totally.
Okay. So
That is, Arbor Pines. That's where Threads lives. Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll have a studio there.
Okay. Awesome. I dig it. Alex, you're up. Oh, you have to name your street at some point too.
Oh, okay.
I know names, right? But you can just think of a house where you lived, or a house that was a block away from you as a kid. Just stick it in there. We won't even know. We'll think you're a genius. Alex, where is Catherine Kerrigan from? Where she live?
It gets a bit squiggly just at the end because it wouldn't let me let go of. I'm thinking apartment. Rail stop neighborhood. Is that was that a region, or was that the whole area? Okay,
it's the whole area. Yeah, it's a neighborhood in a large city.
Okay. The more well-off, you got the Arbor Forest. That was a little bit more well-off, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Look at all the manicured lawn and the beautiful bushes, and got a clubhouse and like a giant pool. So much. Someone worked really hard on the Arbor Forest.
There we go.
I love my neighborhood.
Why wouldn't you? It looks so good.
Let's have a down here on this road. There's a block of apartments.
What kind of apartments are you? Are these like low rent?
Low rent, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. So yeah, you'll need to name your street. So Adam, for Zane, if he's a volunteer firefighter, do they actually? You're saying because they don't have so maybe they had a fire hall at some point, but they no longer do. That's why you keep Dahlia.
Yeah, because you were doing the gentrification thing. I figured having a condemned firehouse would be a great source of not only eliminating services that people don't think they need anymore, as well as turning it into something snazzier. So I would love there to be like an industrial zone on the Ashen Main kind of corner, because we don't really have didn't see, aside from Iron Case, I suppose, but just like some of the rail parts of Rail Stop.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
if you want-
imagine
Go
the
ahead.
rails parts of Rail Stop are actually around that cul-de-sac.
Oh,
Yeah, I was really wondering where the train tracks were.
Probably parallel to Main Street.
Yeah,
Or was Main Street at some point, and then the tracks were
maybe
covered
they got
up.
diverted more away from the park. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe it is more down near my apartment blocks where it's a bit poorer. You know.
So I hear a couple different directions. Let's choose one of the two. It sounds like Jim might have been indicating that the railway no longer actually flows through here, that it's just still called the Rail Stop neighborhood. But then I also hear people talking about having the railway in. Which do we want? Do we want to have an active passenger or freight railroad that travels through this neighborhood, or is that just a legacy aspect of it?
So it depends. How far do we want to think that our nemesis have gotten? Like, was the railroad one of the first things they took away?
I mean,
Or is it their big like must remove the railroad? I don't know.
railroad deinvestment in the United States happened
Ages ago, I know.
ages ago.
So I think I'll go with Jim's idea, unless anyone had a strong objection, and say that Main Street used to be the railroad, like the main line. And the main line became Main Street and has been paved over.
For my street name, I'm trying to think of an actual railway word that would be interesting. Anyone got any suggestions?
Sorry, first thing I thought of was one of the railroads from Monopoly, Reading.
yeah.
Iron stake, something about a stake, something about a
Iron Horse.
Line haul.
Line haul, that feels not too I like it.
And that's HAUL. Is that right?
No,
Jim?
it's H A.
Oh, it's all one
Yes,
word?
it's HAUL. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Of
Oh,
course.
Line Hall.
Yeah.
Nice.
Line haul road.
Cool. So I would like to know from Adam, where is the old decommissioned fire hall? If you can stick that on. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Could I put it? Yeah. Okay. I'll just put it
You
up
put it
here.
wherever you want.
Nope. That's a text box. What do I need to shape? So yeah, I'll do it up here. I imagine maybe since this used to be a train station, there's also a bunch of silos, like grain elevator type stuff. Maybe no, that'd be yeah, like in northeast Minneapolis.
Okay, cool. And then Alex, could you please put in the high school? I want to know where our high school
Yeah.
is.
We've got this nice empty space below the hanged giraffe.
Oh wow, so you're
Maybe.
right near a bar. That's awesome. I actually thought you'd be near the planetarium. I like it better where you're sticking it though. It means you could walk to work if you wanted.
Yeah.
That's why those kids are always in my store.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow never in the gaming store. It's with the
Well, Dolores runs them off. Buy something or get out.
There we go.
Nice. Get to make the font so tiny for it to fit.
Yeah, I'll just put it over on Ash Street.
Okay, fun. So now, go ahead and were there any features that you guys wanted to add that you feel isn't there?
I think just the old industrial stuff over here.
Is that a zone? Like if you want to stick a box?
Sure.
Would that come out from towards be in the same area as iron case furniture, or is that more like a rejuvenated area? And then
I'm gonna have a separate one further away
Mhm.
from Arbor Forest, I think.
Yeah.
So they haven't torn it down yet.
okay, yeah. Sorry, I turned it play down to fit nicer.
Just to I'll stick a regular text on top of it. So I am curious though, for Magpie,
Yes.
what's the name of the actual high school? Right? It's going to be named after some.
I thought I would have to answer that, and I do not have an answer.
Okay, we can stick it in later.
Yeah.
stick it in
If
as-
anyone has a suggestion, yeah. Is there any?
Joe Henry.
Oh, as in, yeah, yeah. Go with the train.
All right, looking good. I'm trying to color code just a little bit to help me. All right. Oh, I love this part of the game.
Maps.
Nearly as much fun as
We know you like maps.
I do. Love maps, my friends. All right. Good deal. So we have introduced our characters. Now we need to draw some ties and try to figure out how you guys work together as a team. We'd already gone through the team generation in that you guys are secret guardians for. Your team's called the Prismatic Guardians, although I think that's something a salacious news reporter for the neighborhood decided to call it, some blogger or something. A year ago, there were some robberies that all of you stuck your nose into investigating, or at least Threads Shroud and the Geek had become involved in that. You guys often hang out at the Hanged Giraffe. But there are a few pointed questions I had. I thought this would be a fun question, Shroud. What have you made Pipe Man forget?
Oh no.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's a great question. What have I made Pipe Man forget? Oh no. Oh,
While she's panicking, did we mention the roles we've chosen?
Oh no, we did not.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll buy Tara a moment. What?
oh thank God. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure between the brick or the glue, but since Adam was siding with the brick, I'm the glue in a kind of gruff big sister slap you around the back of the head when you're being stupid and type way.
Nice. Then what is Pipe Man's? You're the brick, right?
The brick. Yep. He takes hits if he can help it.
So it sounds a little bit like he's not necessarily the brick in the way of, say, the Hulk or the Thing. You're the brick in that you can take it. Like you put yourself at risk for others. Is that?
Yeah, kind of like Colossus, but not as grand as Steel and Mutantness.
Love it. That is super cool. And
I mean, he is still sort of strong and stuff, but
oh yeah, but it's just it's a really neat take on the brick. I like that a lot. So Terry, just pipe in when you have your.
All right. So I've got two.
Oh my goodness, you've taken two of his memories.
No. I have two ideas, and I wanna bounce this off Adam. Okay, Adam. So either it can be something more personal, like Pipe Man and Shroud had an on again off again thing, and some reason it went poorly, and Shroud, since nobody else knew about it, just went, you know what? I don't want you knowing those things. You're done. Or two, I took away the memory that you're the reason why the firehouse is decommissioned. That like the firehouse, that whatever accident happened in the firehouse, you are actually the cause of. So those are my two ideas.
Electrical fire. Water and electrics.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I like the drama of the second, but would that mean everyone else doesn't know either?
maybe that many people didn't actually know to start with, and Shroud took care of it.
But I also like the first one because I see him as just being well-meaning but bad with relationships. Uh,
That's you.
Sure, let's go with the first one.
First one?
Sexual
Okay.
tension that you don't know why it's there is always fun.
Yep. Cool.
Nice, good answer. Now I've got one for Magpie.
Okay.
Magpie, there was, according to your former organization, a threat in a Railstop neighborhood a while before when you worked for the team and you took them down. It's someone who Threads knows. What was the reason that this SPB was taken down, by the way? Your team killed them. So what was the reason that you were told that this super...
Okay, so it was a hit, not a take
it was
them
a
in.
hit.
Okay. I'm going to assume kind of vigilante who started to go more Punisher than Batman.
Cool. Okay.
You know, or maybe a little bit too, maybe one or two bystander deaths. They had, some sort of, super invulnerability to a certain level and such, and would, speed through walls, shrapnel going everywhere, and yeah,
Cool.
they were, they were a danger.
And Threads, why did you care about this person?
We were actually elementary school friends. And like, I'd always tried to help them direct themselves and make better choices.
I don't think they ever took on a super name. So how did you know them? What did you call them in elementary school? What was their name?
Joey?
Okay, cool. I like it. We'll give Joey a last name, Joey Hamaker. And maybe the local rag or the local newspaper or blog gave him some kind of vigilante name, make it nice and salacious, as you do. But you just knew him as Joey. Cool. All right, so we have our team roles. Just to get an idea, you all know each other is what we had chosen last week for the group. Does that still feel comfortable for Pipe Man and Magpie?
Yeah, I can see her kind of getting involved with the robbery thing, problem in the neighborhood. She has the skills to help. She helped.
So we'd also said that you guys met at the friendly local game store, Baker's. Gygax the Baker's, the indie game makers shop. Do you guys want to stick with that, or do you want to swing it over to the?
My kid likes to go there.
Okay,
and my brother loves to go there too.
Nice. There's some of the deadbeats that never buy anything that Dolores always tries to run off. That's great. When you guys go out after, for a beer, is that something that both Zane and Catherine would do?
Occasionally for Catherine.
Okay.
I think she's already leaving.
Go on.
I was just going to say she's already leaving her son at nights while she patrols. So,
Yeah, I just, and we'll hear from Zane in a second. I appreciate you mentioning that. So he's all by himself, or do you have a relative?
I feel he's
neighbor?
I don't have an age in my head exactly, but old enough that she doesn't feel guilt or too guilty leaving him.
So he's kind of a latchkey
Yeah.
then. Okay.
I mean, this is at night. You know,
He should be sleeping anyway, right?
yeah, he should be sleeping anyway. And I mean, he doesn't. I think he does know what she does
Okay.
Ooh.
because she would not be in a costume, in like a superhero costume. Oh, we don't use the hero word, but super's costume. If it wasn't for him, she would just be in tactical gear.
But trading the tech gear for something with flair because
I mean, she's basically in tactical gear plus the kind of coat slash cape thing that she's wearing. So,
like that guy in Umbrella Academy, the knife thrower guy. He's just in a harness with
Diego.
glass. Yeah, Diego.
Yeah, she's basically kind of got the Diego style gear, but then the magpie coat thing over the top.
That is pretty great.
Zane would go, but he is usually probably really tired early on. He's maybe a wimp about it because he's always on call. So he's either dealing with emergency shifts of plumbing stuff or fire stuff. So he's probably always pretty worn out, especially if he does the water thing and he's trying to recover. That probably wears him out.
Oh wow, that's true. Yeah.
Does he actually when he heals, does he have to absorb water from something to fill in the gaps, or is it just it kind of generates water and then the gap is filled?
I suppose he would have to rehydrate, but I just pictured some portion of his body can just turn into like a waterfall and fill the vessel of his body, like filling a jar. So it just kind of fills in.
Yeah.
But I hadn't really thought about where he gets it from, aside just stealing it from the rest of his cells, I suppose. So he probably is one of those guys that has the gallon jug, like a lifter, even though he's not, or like a football player in college or something. But yeah.
Cool. So with him, this is awesome because I have a feeling that Raza actually has Miss Kerrigan as one of his teachers.
Oh yeah.
What subject is gym plus art? Art. Raza wants to be a comic book artist.
Oh yeah, nice, yeah.
So that's why he hangs out at the comic book store. He's constantly trying to
How old is the little brother?
Teen, so like in high school.
14?
Yeah, maybe 15-ish, 15, I suppose.
Yeah.
So early high school. Was that 10th grade or something?
Yeah. I guess
you're asking Alex. How would Alex know that? He doesn't do such crazy things.
Yeah. I think Kyle maybe a year younger.
I'm like, what are you talking about? What's this word, headmaster?
I knew it was the wrong word.
I'm just playing.
So yeah, Zane is also just kind of a community do-gooder. Like charity is totally common for him. So you all could draw him easily into any sob story that needs help.
Good stuff. Cool. I like that. All right. So that is good. Did anybody have any questions? Does everybody feel like the relationships? Like I don't think we have any strong ties between Threads and either Pipe Man or Magpie. So let's try to buoy that out. Chris, aka Threads, how can we tie you together to either Magpie or Pipe Man, or hopefully both?
I mean, Magpie killed one of my childhood buddies, so
there's a vague.
So I feel like Pipe Man's my loose end.
Is this the?
How old is Pipe Man, do you think?
25.
Mm-hmm. So we're a pretty similar age.
He's a fix-it guy, maybe. So if the dry cleaning place needs, I don't know how dry cleaning works. Do they use steam or anything? I don't know. Maybe he makes things work.
I mean, dry cleaning.
It's
Dry
dry.
cleaners have a boiler, but they call it dry cleaning because you're not cleaning in water. You're cleaning in
Like
a
chemicals.
liquid solvent, usually perchloroethylene.
So
And
so
petroleum
maybe
spirits.
okay. How about this? So that's just a career thing. That it's not really a personal thing. So maybe since the fire team was disbanded, but there's still needs, maybe I could try to recruit your help in maintaining the suits that everybody else needs, like the whatever that is, Kevlar fire retardant stuff that is totally run down and like from 50 years ago, but it's all we've got to work with. So it's kind of patching everything together.
I mean, it's not run down anymore.
Oh yeah, right.
You fixed it.
Yeah. So you help keep it going when there's not actual funding for the highest tech stuff. And so that's mostly for like the rest of the team. And so maybe and you're in the neighborhood, or the place is in the neighborhood, and we're in the same apartment actually.
Yeah, we're in the same apartment building, so yeah, we have opportunities to see each other in person day to day.
I might even be the maintenance guy doing the unsavory jobs around the place.
Oh yeah, you're the handyman for the apartment complex.
When the apartment above you's toilet floods and it was leaking through your ceiling.
Want to come by mind benders and do that sort of stuff? Or
oh, is Mindbenders the escape room? I was wondering what that was. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I could. Yeah. Always on call. Always be plunging.
Always be plunging.
Oh god.
ABP. I'm writing it down. Just sweet. This has been really good. Unless somebody else had something.
Did we want to make some sort of connection between Shroud and Magpie?
I was about to say that exact same thing. We have like nothing currently connecting us. Other than we're on the same team together.
Yeah.
I have a question. Maybe does Magpie have any memories from Special Forces time that you'd rather not have?
Ooh.
Oh.
Or maybe, especially if something that Shroud has refused to mess with.
Or like maybe I had to go into your mind for something, and I saw that.
Like
secret. Yeah, you could kind of.
And I know a secret.
You know how maybe you kind of know how kind of dirty some of that work was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the 0 issue of the Prismatic Guardians, I think there was a time when Shroud had to dive into Magpie's mind to unlock some key sequence that she felt like she'd forgotten, but knew at some point, and that's when Shroud discovered all of Magpie's dirty secrets.
Yeah, looking at wet works.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
That's terrible. I love it.
But, yeah. So you've seen some.
How do I feel about that? How would I feel about that?
Maybe you also get this. You saw horrible stuff, but maybe you could also got some of the emotion, like the regrets and the the wanting to kind of.
So a Shroud question would be: did the horrible things end up actually helping people? Like, was it actually for the greater good, or did you do some stuff that did not end up for the greater good?
I think she feels overall the stuff she did helped the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helps her sleep at night.
Okay. But is that 100% true?
Yeah, but I don't think she is gonna self-delude herself to think that everything she did.
Cool. So maybe I think maybe Shroud it mostly understands, but like sometimes like questions your judgment.
Okay.
As a response to this.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to really hard try to be the kind of glue team role. It might be a bit shakier.
It's just a little bit. Just a little bit. Add a little drama. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, don't be scared. They're good. They'll treat you well. Cool. All right. That's good. Any other ties? You guys feel pretty solid about it now?
Do we want to something between Pipe Man and Magpie?
I was just thinking that
And was there something between Shroud and Pikeman?
There
former,
was.
Yeah, there was.
Yes,
I don't
there
know
was.
about
Yes.
it.
Yeah, sorry.
Not that I know
forgot.
about. Oh, I have a question. Do the others know about the former
They probably
connection?
know, like, we flirted a whole bunch, and then all of a sudden, like, I just totally stopped flirting back, and then, like, you're probably just like, was this going somewhere? I'm like, I don't want to even talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
I got
So-
like super frosty.
And how open is Magpie about former military background? That's common knowledge.
Let's say that it was discovered, like it's a thing that Shroud either brought to the team or it was just revealed. Oh, I
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Dark past being there if you're
Yeah.
okay with it, Alex.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I could say my dad was ex-military before being a cop, and so I grew up in like a sort of military family, and I respect that in you now as my brother's teacher and whatever. So I respect authority and kind of
Yeah.
I'm a little Captain America about that, maybe.
Nice.
Is that
Reminder
okay?
that Captain America effed off.
What was that?
Reminder that Captain American Civil War was like, F authority. I'm my own
Oh.
authority.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm not there yet.
He's a bit more
Maybe
rebellious
you're
than people give
Coulson
him credit
about
for.
Captain America.
Yes, yeah, maybe that. Yep. Works for me.
Cool. So that's really good. Oh, one thing for Zane, aka Pipe Man, you need to roll a d6, and that'll give you your starting spark. All right, you start with an 8. And again, that's not your max. That's just your current level of spark. Good. This is really good. So, as a reminder for what happened last session, what we had was there was a large demolition that was scheduled to take place. It was across the street from Mindbenders, the Hanged Giraffe, and the game store, the FLGS, to clear the way for parking and potential further commercial development. And as a kind of PR opportunity, the your rivals, the City Savers, were participating in the demolition. Dozer and Bull specifically were tearing down the old brick buildings, and the team discovered that what appeared to have been a propped up save a citizen opportunity for. Did we? I don't have in my notes that we named the daughter of the council selectman.
I don't remember from watching the name.
I don't think we did.
I don't think she got a name, which is oops. Rachel.
Rachel is great. So Rachel was saved by threads, but really it was a team effort as you guys not only foiled this very dangerous plan to save someone, but also captured it on video and published it and put it up on YouTube and brought a great deal of shame to the City Savers. So they are in they are in PR shutdown mode at the beginning of our session. That Fallout will be an aspect of our game, but I think this is the perfect time for us to take our first break. We'll probably take a couple of small breaks. So it is a minute until top of the hour. Let's meet back at 5 after. So see you guys in actually 6 minutes.
See you in a minute.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Are you excited about Endgame?
A little bit. I've watched all the movies, and I love Marvel, and I love the Marvel Universe, and yada yada yada. But I know that there's some content in the film that I'm not going to enjoy, and
You've already been spoiled for something?
yes, thankfully, the way that Thor gets thrown under the bus is done in a way that is particularly triggering, especially for some people with PTSD or eating disorders. So knowing that ahead of time is hella good instead of getting punched in the dick with it,
Okay.
metaphorically speaking. But also, like, to a certain extent, I hope this doesn't lead to a triumph of the comic bookification of films. I don't think it will, but
It's had 11 years to happen. DC tried to comic bookify and failed horribly. So
I mean, the problem with the DC movies is the same problem in a lot of modern DC crossover content. That is, that DC's greatest strengths are in its joyful characters and positive role models and
And DC has no interest in talking
childhood
about that at all.
happiness. And DC is like, no, but we're serious. We're for gritty adults. And in fact, unfortunately, DC regularly misses the distinction between what is adult and what is mature. So the books were a lot more mature when they weren't trying to be so edgy and gritty and turning Mr. Mind into a freaking Geiger alien creature and all this other dumb BS.
So I think it would be cool if we start off our session at the high school. And just this is a contrivance. Hopefully you guys will forgive me. It is I'm trying to think of the right words for it. Help me describe it. Like a job fair kind of thing. Like it's not a bring a kid to work. It's like a thing, almost a show and tell, but it's high school, so you wouldn't call it show and tell. It's some kind of like career opportunity day or careers day, and
Here's things you could think about being when you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Vocational Exploration Day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jim, you're the smartest. You're smarter than me, and it makes me happy to just associate with you. You're so clever.
It could also be with the gentrification. The people funding it maybe could think they're spinning it as a rail stop advances kind of.
I mean, obviously, this is largely underwritten by the Iron Case Corporation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love it. Yeah, so we like start off when we see the hold on. Rich has to run over and glance at what we named the high school. Crap, did we name the high school? Damn it. Okay. High school. Generic high school.
I suggested naming it John Henry High, but
yeah, no.
Me.
Yeah, and I agreed.
John Henry. Good. That's the right answer. Just agree. So John Henry High School, we got to come in. Of course, we have a single shot of John Henry High School, and then we're zooming into a particular classroom, which is Catherine's classroom, our art class, I assume, and it's all topsy-turvy. It's one of those things where it's vocational exploration day, and we have the firefighter here, and you're of course here with Dahlia, because dog, and high schoolers, even though they'll act like it's not a big deal, it's totally cool to have a dog in school. And so we have a shot of Dahlia, and I'm just curious, Coral, how did you end up? Did you apply to be part of this thing as a
Oh,
person? Or did you did
hell no. I did not apply to be a part of this.
okay, so then that means that
I'm getting
you're
overtime.
yes,
Nor
Mr. Johnson is paying you to do this
yeah.
because it's a like a Better Business Bureau thing and it's great and he doesn't have time for it. So he sent you. Because you're so good at the puzzles and stuff, you're basically the backbone. Although still
Yeah. I'm passing out coupons for half off games like Wildfire as a response to being forced to be here, though.
okay. Cool. Um Yeah, and I just because I think it'll be fun. I think Chris is here as well as a representative for the university. Maybe not talking specifically about being a seamstress, but you're, here as university
Well,
outreach. No?
I mean, yeah, if I'm here in my capacity as a textile sciences student.
Awesome. So you guys are all at the high school at John Henry High, and we have a shot of Zane's younger brother. Sorry. Raza Coltrane, who is sitting there because you're up front talking about being a firefighter to a bunch of art students. So is this like a studio? What does this art class look like, Catherine? It's your class, so how do you organize things?
Oh, yeah, me.
Sorry, I
yeah.
would say Magpie, but you're like being Catherine, so.
Yeah, I'm Catherine. I think it's a kind of general, almost the kind of normal classroom setup, except all the chairs have been kind of tables, actually, have been kind of moved into a slight curve. So, like, if there's like some sort of drawing exercise that something's set in the middle, can be a focus point.
Nice. And then the 3 football players should keep asking when they get to paint nudes. Where do you sit them?
They sit at the front, and they know not to ask that again.
Okay. All right. So, but yeah, they probably try to talk in.
I have very accurate aim with a bit of chalk.
And while the gym has been converted almost like a convention space with all kinds of booths where you can go by and get information and pamphlets and the like, they're also doing where they bring people up into actual classrooms. So they have more intimate, more setting where you can ask a lot of questions. So I'm imagining that Mindbenders has a booth set up, that the local university, the Textiles University, and I'm assuming that Chris will have to come up with a name for that because mine will just be Textile University, Textile School. I don't know what I would name it.
I mean, what state are we in?
You're in what state do you want to be in?
Uh,
Normally set this in New Gauntlet City, so my head is like not in states, but what state do you like?
I mean, so I'm actually looking at a curriculum for a textile science bachelor's from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
We're in Nebraska. That is
Okay.
crazy. I have never played a game in Nebraska. Like I'm just checking off a box. I like it.
Yep. Need one of those maps where you like scratch off the foil of every state you've been to.
Yeah. Yes, in pretend games, in elf games, I have been to many more states than Rich has.
Yeah.
Like it. Sweet. So yeah, you're there as representative for textile, but I think it would be fun if we start off with Zane coming into the art class, and your little brother he's been dreading this all day long ever since he heard that the volunteer firefighters were going to come to visit because he knows it's you. And he just thinks of you as basically the apartment handyman who occasionally goes out and does stuff. And oh yeah, he's made of water. It's so weird. Right, because he's not super into you as a superhero. He's more like, oh, you're kind of a lame superhero. You basically like suck up water.
Like a porta potty man.
You're like a porta potty man. You're like, yeah, it sucks. So he's head down, just kind of scribbling in his journal when you come in. So how does Zane approach this? You maybe had a couple days to think about it, to prep if you think the prep is worthy. And I'm not expecting you to go through an actual spiel. I just want to know what's Zane's plan coming into this.
Okay, he's not the brightest tree on the bulb, and he's been busy with on-call emergencies and an awkward date with this girl who he keeps forgetting the name of. So he's not really prepared actually, and he has the suit, like a firefighter's suit, and he knows somebody will probably want to try it on, and he's going to try to inspire them to heroism. And his idea is to give a demonstration by lighting a small fire in a trash can. And it probably doesn't really go well, and he forgets about, I don't know why he would, as a firefighter, forget about like sprinklers and stuff, but yeah, that's the plan. And he kind of stumbles a bit and is trying not to draw attention to his brother, like not say he's whatever, but he keeps making the eye contact. Hey, isn't this cool to Raza? But he doesn't buy it. But yeah, so he tries to make it a bunch of gamey things like that that are ill considered.
Okay, cool.
And Magpie probably has to stop. Like, let's not do it that way. Let's not do it that way.
No, I'm sure Magpie will stop you at some point, but you still have to give it a try. I think that impressing these guys and making a decent impression. I'm going to give you 2 difficulties. This is one of the things you can do in Hit the Street. So it's a typical difficulty to just not totally screw it up, but to do it to where your young brother thinks, okay, maybe Zane's kind of awesome, is remarkable, right? He's hard to convince. So I think you're trying to be normal, and it's not like you're using your superpowers to impress them with volunteer firefighting.
Yeah, so just inspiring them to do the little things to be a hero, like all of the Captain America shorts from whatever that was, where he's like, stay in school, you know?
Yes. That's what I like.
Look out for people other than yourself. Okay, so you want me to roll a thing?
So we'll have you be normal.
Normal in heart?
Yeah, I like that. That works for me.
All right.
And you're not using any of your powers, so your base roll is a 6. Again, you need 2 successes just to pull it off and not screw up. You need 4 successes to impress your younger brother. And you'll probably impress his friends, which means he then will, get the after effect if he claims allegiance to you.
Okay, so I'm going to spend a spark because I've been distant and I feel guilty. So I'm trying to make his life better.
All right, so the 7 6-siders, you're looking for evens. Tension is not involved in the roll.
Okay, I got 1 6 and 3 1s. So
it is a good thing, but
utter failure.
So I do think that you set off that fire trying to be cool, which does set off the sprinklers.
I mean, could I intervene before it got that far in a kind of way that is a bit embarrassing to him?
Sure. How would you have embarrassed Zane in his attempt?
I don't think I would be like attempting to embarrassing him, but maybe he's like going with a lighter to light this thing, and I'm just like hand on his wrist and like, really, just a kind of disapproving look where he has to kind of back down from that.
Yes, this is an exact example of what not to do. Don't play with lighters.
One of the football players, his name's Shane. He's like, "Spark it up, man! Yeah, do it!" And the other 2 guys laugh.
Can I throw a piece of chalk so it kind of just hits his hand that's on the table, or it hits slightly, so like a little bit of impact on his hand?
Yeah.
Like kind of the equivalent of being flicked really hard in the finger.
Ow!
Yeah. Would that be being normal?
Sure. I think this is a typical difficulty because
and hand?
You're being normal. It's hand because you're
highly trained.
Yeah, highly trained definitely fits here.
So that's Seeing at one hand is 2, plus 3 plus 5. I get to roll.
Actually, hold on a sec. I actually think throwing something might be more of a reaction, dodging, running, jumping, speed function than hands,
Okay.
because it's not like you're trying to be strong with it. You're actually trying to
Yeah.
be
Precise speed. Yeah. So 6.
yeah.
Is that? Am
6
I?
base.
Oh.
You need evens.
Yeah. Oop, move that. Everything's moving around.
Here, I'll just clear those dice.
Okay. Thank you. So 66.
Mhm.
Yeah. There we go. Oh,
Lots of ones.
Man, I can't wait to put.
Do I hit him in the face?
I know. We need tensions.
Well, it's typical. So your difficulty actually is a success with 2 successes. So you stop Pipe Man, embarrass him a little bit. There's like a drug reference joke from one of the football guys. You flick a piece of chalk and he like draws his hand back and his buddies like chuckle at him and he mutters something like, "I'm going to talk to the principal."
So I thought of how it's embarrassing is because I realize suddenly at that moment that there's no reason any of these people should go into this career because it doesn't pay you anything. And so instead I start extolling the virtues of plumbing and that kind of job that is just good, honest work, and everybody's groaning like, "Oh,
Nice.
come on!"
Yeah, you start talking about plumbing and good honest work, and then one of the kids turns on his phone, and we hear like the Super Mario theme play, which gets them giggling, a few giggle snorts, and yeah, class starts to devolve a little bit. But Catherine, before you start to pull the class's focus back, your mobile phone, you get a text, and it's followed by a second text, like a couple quick texts. Is this a thing that you would ignore when class is ongoing?
I think I've got like the little Fitbit watch,
Cool.
so
Yeah.
I kind of just glance down at my wrist as the kind of message goes through, scrolls across the screen.
Oh, cool. So the message is from Chun, a former member of your team,
Okay.
and it says priority message alert, and then the second message that comes through is call me ASAP.
Does it look like Zane's talk is winding up?
I think it's
I could go on forever. I mean, I haven't even started on water treatment.
Well, Zane, good talk. I just cut in. Lots of interesting things for the kids to digest. Everyone get out of the class.
James like, what? Still rubbing his little hand where he got flicked with chalk. Wait, like free period or something?
Visit the booths. There's all kinds of options ahead of you.
And I think that is enough for Raza to say, yeah, let's just go. And he gets up and he will take off. And the kids start filtering out. We'll cut away from the two of you down to the row of booths. And I think somehow Mindbender's booth is right beside the textile school's booth. So how have you, Coral, how have you set up the Mindbender's booth?
They gave me like a whole bunch of stuff to put up, like a backdrop and posters and those things that people use for those makeshift photo booths. And I literally put one poster up, and I have a table of just coupons scattered across, and I'm just sitting there with my feet up.
Wow, you're literally the worst.
I mean, I don't want to be here. I'm smarter than this, and it bothers me. So.
And then Chris, for the textile school, what have you done with the booth?
So I'm kind of here for the school generally. So I've got like the table and the nice stretch table cover with the university logo, and a pile of pamphlets of, hey, go to college. We promise you it's worth it. Oh, count of shame, dog.
Sorry.
Oh,
I know.
sad days
I know.
for that pupper.
Sorry.
It's okay. And I have a nice, like, 3-panel display all set up specifically about textile sciences, but I've got flyers for multiple different programs. And like pinned to my display are samples of all kinds of different fabrics, including, fireproof fabrics and Kevlar and like waterproof stuff, and a brief explanation of what DWR treatments are, and like just some fun tactile stuff that people can pick up and touch and play with, and along with some statistics of how much of X, Y, or Z is made every year, and fashion, hella money industry. It's exciting.
Get like a trickle of folks that come through. Some the home ec teacher comes through and checks in and asks a lot of questions. Actually has filters through a few of her better students, and they ask a lot of interesting questions. And then there's a dead period, and then during lunch, the folks just kind of filter through and stop and grab a few pamphlets mostly. And then a girl that you recognize as did not actually work on, got the first name, Rachel. Let's give her a last name.
The one that was rescued?
Yeah, the girl who was rescued. See, she's
Oglethorpe.
Oh, yeah.
They're who the street is named after.
Right,
Oh,
right.
she's like old money then?
Yep, old money.
She's probably like her dad is involved in the whole city saver gentrification.
Maybe not. Maybe that's why they grabbed him. Like, even though he is old money, like, maybe that's why they grabbed her, is to try to get him on their side.
Nice.
Things need to change. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like that a lot. So she comes through and when you're threads, it doesn't, when I look at the pic that you chose, is that her everyday appearance, or is that threads is threads?
That's her everyday appearance.
Would Rachel know Chris is threads? I guess is the real question I have.
I think that when threads is threads, there's kind of the hood mask sort of thing going on. So like this part of the face is somewhat obscured. But I think that Rachel could guess.
So she comes through, she does like a one time through and then stops and looks at you. And there's that, like, you make eye contact and there's a bit of recognition. And then she moves on, but it's slowly. It's one of those like contemplating a thing. Is this a thing that I think is the thing? And then she circles back, or like all the way down the aisle, all the way around all the other booths, and then certainly comes slowly. And you recognize her, Coral. Like, you recognize this girl. You guys saved her life. Been all over the newspapers.
Coral's definitely giving Chris like this like side eye, like,
I'm looking back like, oh shit.
We're not very good at being subtle.
And so Rachel's slowly coming back around, and she walks with just like, there's a pause, it's slow step, slow step, slow step, and then she takes a breath and just starts making a beeline for your booth. What do you do?
I think I just freeze up.
I have an emergency tear in my pants. I need help from a seamstress, which is you. Not right now, but sometimes. Maybe come here. I don't know.
So, Shad, you're trying to pull threads into a pretend
A
emergency.
conversation, yeah, pretend conversation. Coral's not good with people. This is legitimately her attempt.
Wow, see, if Coral had actually put in the effort, not saying that she should have, but put in the effort to like set up the impromptu photo booth, she might have been able to be like, tug, rip, oh no, my booth is ruined.
Darn, didn't do that
If only
though.
I knew somebody who could sew. But yeah, I try to play along with the thing, and I'm like, oh, show me.
I literally ripped the seam in the side of my pants. I'm like, look at this. Oh my god.
Harsh. Okay, so I think it's one of those where initially, not even a roll, she's going to hang back. Like, she's not going to jump in and try to save this. She just kind of hangs back a little bit, like, oh, I'll look at this other booth and bide my time. But if you want to sell it, if you really want her to like go away, it's got to come to a roll.
So I'm gonna whisper actually, once Chris gets close enough. I'm gonna be like, I could go into her memories and figure out what's going on. Should I do that? Do you want me to do that? I can do that.
Just leave her alone.
She's not gonna leave you alone.
Maybe she just wants to say thank you. That's not a bad thing.
I mean, isn't it? She's not supposed to know you're the one to say thank you to.
She's got a good reason to keep this on the DL. It's maybe fine. Meanwhile, I'm like grabbing a portable sewing kit out of a lapel pocket and like,
I'm like, all right, dude, you do you.
I can't stand it. It's ripped. Not even in a fashionable way. I couldn't resell this.
I appreciate it. I was trying to make it believable.
Nice. So it sounds like you don't want to go to a roll to dissuade Rachel any further, but the ruse actually does have to come to completion in Chris's mind, so you've got to quickly sell. But I think that's not really a big deal. It was on the scene, so you can take care of that.
I think we can fast forward to the end of the sewing.
It's like so. And then Rachel comes up as you finished off and maybe cut off and tied off the thing, and she's like, hello.
Oh, good afternoon.
She steps over to your booth and kind of stands there, her fingers lightly on one of the pamphlets, like, I'm here for a legitimate reason. You look familiar. I'm Rachel.
Oh, hi there. My name's Chris Coates.
Coates? And you're in textiles. That's your actual name. I'm sorry.
I mean, don't worry, I get it. And I get it a lot in class too.
Sorry. It's gotta be the worst.
I kind of like it.
I'm going to ask you a question, and if the answer is yes, that's cool. And if it's no, you're going to think I'm really weird.
Okay.
Are you her? The one who like saved me?
Well, I'm sure if I was, I'd be very happy to see you safe and sound.
Coral does an over and exaggerated eye roll. Suspected.
Well, I was little out of it. I never got to say thanks or anything.
You're welcome.
Is that the stuff you did? That's something you learned at the school?
Oh, no.
She's like smoothing over the pamphlet, trying to have something to do with her hands as she keeps looking down. Like, I'm looking at a thing while I'm asking these bizarre questions.
No, right now I'm getting my butt kicked by organic chemistry. My advice to you is don't go into a field where you have to do orgochem to graduate.
That's I'm not smart like that. It's my dad wants me to go into like business or something. I don't want to.
What would you rather do?
I mean, you bring up the whole chemistry thing, and that's terrifying because I kind of want to be a veterinarian, but I know you actually have to know medicine and stuff. So probably like modeling or something. I don't know.
Well, just because something's hard doesn't mean that you should give up on it. Organic chemistry is hard, but I'm not failing.
Well, you seem pretty smart. I'm sure you're probably doing great. Just not, I would be totally lost.
That's why you do things like join a study group or go to a professor's office hours. College is way different from high school. You get a lot more support in different ways.
Yeah. I'm really blessed. I don't have to worry about like scholarships or stuff. My dad is God. He said he'll pay. He just really wants me to go to college. He says he doesn't want me to be like a deadbeat, like working at like fast food or something. And I told him that was a little offensive, but he's my dad. So what do you do?
Well, also, you're young. You need more time to figure out.
Actually, a senior.
You're a
I'm not
senior?
that young. Yeah, I'm a senior.
That's great.
I'm about to go to college. Seriously consider textiles.
Well, if you'd like to, give it a shot. You can always audit classes. You have plenty of time to figure out what you'd like to do. And you might go into college thinking that one thing is for you and you come out with an entirely different degree, and that's fine.
Yep.
Coral at this point is actually laughing. Like she cannot help herself. This is a hysterical conversation to her.
Takes a half step back, like she totally thinks that you're laughing at her, and she says, "Well," she starts grabbing up some of the pamphlets. Oh wait, these are the same pamphlet, and then she lines one of them back up, like she just made it slightly askew. And is there like a mailing list or like should I, like if I want more information, do you have a card or anything?
Oh, sure. And I hand her one of my own business cards and
kind of
one of
over
college.
fearfully at Coral while you're handing the business card, and then she takes it. Thank you. I don't like have a, but I could send you a text, and then you'd have. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for coming by.
Cool.
Take a coupon. As she passes by.
She'll take the.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You're actually here for a thing. I thought you were just her friend.
I point at the poster.
This time Chris laughs.
Right. Great. Awesome. So, super cool. Okay, and then that's when we see all of the art students come like milling into the room, and a few of the like soccer guys. And he's like, "Oh, he's going to spark it up. Did you see that? That was funny."
Does Chris notice the note on her lap?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's
I
She's
portaled
like-
a tiny note from under my table to under her table.
Yeah, not even a roll. That's great.
I just like pointedly crumple the note and like tuck it in a pocket.
Rachel totally ducks out at that point. She's been given the opportunity to bail and does so. So yeah. Cutting back to Zane, when all the students are kicked out, do you also leave or do you stick around?
I don't specifically kick him out.
Okay.
So
Adam, you're muted, by the way.
Did you say you would kick me out too?
no, my everyone leave was kind of just directed outwards towards the
Children, go!
Okay, so yeah, I would collect myself to go, and you'd have to stop me.
I have an entire box of chalk, and I'll break it into small pieces.
Oh,
I think
yeah. Is
maybe I hold up like one finger as I'm like calling back.
okay.
Just like wait a second. This might be.
Am I in trouble? Sorry about that. It was ill-considered, I realize.
You just get a kind of like a slight sigh and shake the head as I calling back.
Cool. You dial up.
If you're calling the police, you can ask for. No, my dad's not there anymore. Sorry. Habit.
Chun answers the phone on one ring. He's to say,
It's Kerrigan.
Kerrigan, is your line secure?
Of course.
So I understand that you're in rail stop. Long pause, waiting for your confirmation or denial.
I just leave him hanging. I know he knows where I am. He's still working with them. So I'm not going to deign to respond.
There's a team on its way there.
Who
An
for?
SPB by the name of Gravestone has been sighted heading that way, trying to lay low.
What's their MO?
No, it's not good. They have multiple counts. Murder, extortion. Power set is life draining. And it is a high priority target. You know what that means.
What crew is working it?
Black Hammers. And you know the Black Hammers, they are brought in, they're the heavy hitters, and they have an entire team that is basically a sweep up team. Then one of them has powers not unlike Shroud's.
How long till they get here?
I'll be here tonight. They're on a flight now. I recommend you lay low. Stay out of the way. If you've got anybody important, just hunker down.
Of course. Does he hang up or?
Yeah, I think that seems like a good end to the conversation. Click.
Okay, we got work to do.
That wasn't
tonight.
What was that?
We have work to do, and we only have until tonight.
Oh, I thought that was Jimmy John's or something. Great.
I walk out of the class expecting him to follow me.
Yep, I will carry my stuff and follow. Is that just us then? You and me?
because I'm not going to explain everything twice. I'm not wasting words on that. I'm going to go and find Chris and
Coral.
Coral. Yeah. Coral. Is it Coral or Cora?
Coral.
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 At the end is Coral.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coral.
Yeah.
Cool. So, after Rachel backs out, kind of cowed and laughed at and feeling terrible, but also elated, and like she's already taken a picture with her phone of the card that Chris has, and has written most of the text, but hasn't hit send because she's proofing it. And then in comes Catherine as well as Zane. And you see right there, standing side by side, is Coral and Chris. So Coral, when the three football players from art class, Shane and his two buddies, are like asking really stupid questions about mind benders,
Mm-hmm.
how are you handling that? Like, what's your general attitude? They're super awkward high school.
Give me an example. Like, give me even one.
Oh yeah. So like, so mindbender says, I mean, you're like flexible.
Oh God. I just oh God. What would she do? She'd probably be like, you have to be flexible in your mind in order to get through a room. Yes, you do, absolutely. Like very like she wants to say other things, but they're like 18 and younger and is not gonna get in trouble over this. But,
yeah, and so they're all kind of crowding near you. And one of them says, I love your hair, and he like reaches, like he's going to touch your hair.
Touch me.
Oh, whoa, hey, take it easy. Come on. Jeez, and the blonde haired Shane, he's like, come on, give us a smile. Come on.
I'll actually step up.
Thank God.
Cool. So they're wearing like Letterman jackets, the old, like, they've got all kinds of stripes of different sports that they play, and they've got the big O for O Henry, or John Henry. So it's like JH, right? Big JH. O Henry. They do not work. They don't go to high school at a candy bar. I apologize. So John Henry, big JH, and yes. So you step up, Chris, and what do you do?
Boys, a gentleman doesn't make a lady uncomfortable.
And then Shane, he's like, dude, step off, okay? We're talking to her. You can have your chance later for whatever.
Yeah, okay. See, you're
Carol
17.
and I are already friends. And
Yes.
I don't require your permission to do so.
That is true. You're also all like high schoolers, and I know you think you're cool, but really, I recommend you just move on. Never gonna happen. Just go to a different table, please.
Shane's like, girl, this is not a high school spot. He like,
I know how Kerrigan would react if she gets there.
How do you come in on this? Like,
I look at Chris like I want to punch it though, or do something.
And I'm like, it might not be a high schooler's bicep to you, but the baby fat in your cheeks says otherwise.
oh man, I think you are definitely trying to insult him and cow him with your wit, Chris. So I do think there's a possibility he might punch you because he thinks he can get away with it. So there will be tension involved.
Oh, all right.
That is him throwing a punch. He's probably definitely going to be.
He punches Chris, there will be problems.
Oh yeah.
Coral.
He's in front of his two buddies, so I'm going to say the difficulty is good. But if you're successful with this, he will take off.
What's the number of that?
Good is 3. You need 3 successes. I think that are you trying to be a con artist? I've also had it kind of back of my head, and I think
this is kind of con artisty.
I think so. And Sounds like you're being normal, right? You're just insulting a person.
Yeah, there's nothing super going on here. I mean, except that they all now have holes in their pockets. But that's and
Oh,
That's
And-
funny, and I
and-
love it. I love it so much.
won't help me succeed here.
Well, I mean,
that's awesome.
it's great. It's like they're all talking and you hear 3 phones go boom, boom,
Yeah.
Yep.
Later, Shane's gonna be like looking on the inside of his Letterman jacket, going, "What?"
Yep. And I feel like this is definitely a jaw
Absolutely.
roll here.
So 1, 2 plus 3, 5 base dice. You said you weren't using any powers except in obvious ways. So you've got spark you want to spend.
Hmm. God, and these guys, man, no, not worth it. All right, so I got 2 successes and 1 oof.
Okay, so with 2 successes, I said it was good for him to cow. So he like starts to back off, but then one of his buddies kind of nudge shoves him, and you heard him like gender you, so he like shoves you back. It's not like a full on punch. It's just one of those like, screw you, man, and shoves you back. Yes.
I immediately go into his head. I want to find the most embarrassing fucking memory he has. I want it now. That's my goal.
Hey, Lithuania is calling me again. I don't know why. Some person in Lithuania has called me twice now. It's great. I'm like going to save that in my memory. And by memory, I mean phones. Okay, cool. So if you want to grab the most embarrassing memory possible from him, I'm going to say that it's a superpower, so there's tension involved because you're messing with a person's head.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you 2 difficulties on this. So it's a typical difficulty of 2 if you just want to grab an embarrassing memory that you can blurt out.
Yeah.
You get the worst possible memory. It's like that stuff he buried down deep, right? And remember, context, it's embarrassing to him.
Right. Yes.
And so that is going to be remarkable. So 2 successes, you grab a memory. But if you want to go for 4 successes, which is remarkable, then you'll get his undying shame.
Okay, great. So
Are you being a strategist in this?
I feel like I could manipulate my way into being strategic here.
Me too. So that's 1 die. You're definitely using a superpower. So that's 4 total plus 3. And you're dealing with people's heads, right? So
Yep.
it'll put you at 7. You're using your mental ability, so that's 9 dice. You built your die pool here. You have 9 spark you could spend. It's quite a bit. Do you want to spend any there to build up from the 9?
I'll go ahead and spend 1 spark to get
get up to 10.
To get up to 10.
Like even numbers. Okay. Yeah. I'm the same way.
The more you spend, the more you get to have refresh scenes to get back.
That's true.
So did the guy swing at Chris?
He didn't swing. So we'll cut back as you're drawing the memory out to show that Zane and Catherine, you guys are both coming in, and you see Shane like shove Chris.
Oh, shove.
I have 5 successes.
5 successes is a lot.
No, 6 successes.
You rolled literally 1, 2, 3 odds out of that whole. That is just a lot. Wait, did you roll 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you got 7 successes actually. No, those are odds. What am I doing? You have 5 successes. You have 5 successes because 5s are odd, Rich. Okay, 5 successes. However,
You forgot about the 2.
did I? Okay, 6 successes is still super success. You've undoubtedly succeeded. You've pulled his most terrible minion. So Matt, the guy to his right, he has a super big crush on Matt and has had a lot of problems dealing with that because he's like peeked on him in the shower.
Yeah.
and just kind of had his own little side story going on in his head that he's never acted on.
Cool.
So you lose a spark because the tension was in effect. How does that hurt you? It's one spark, but still, there's an impact on you. How does that affect you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe my mind's just a little bit cloudier since my powers mostly head powers.
Oh, so it's like a physical strain of what
Yeah.
you're to be careful, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the knowledge
I mean-
itself doesn't affect you, but the effort of getting it and trying to be careful and not hurt him. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
stepped over you, Jim. What were you saying?
They could also just be having sad, gaby feels.
Cool.
So I'm gonna step in front of Chris, and so Shane's the one that pushed Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I go, Shane, I don't think it's me you want to impress so much right here, is it?
Kind of steps back like, no, of course it's you, Rainbow.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure. If you don't want me telling everybody everything, then I suggest you just get the fuck out of here, man.
Tell everybody everything what? I don't even know what you're talking about. I barely even know you.
Just sort of stare him down.
Seems a little creeped out by that. So now Zane and Catherine, you guys see after shoving Chris, and there's some kind of altercation going on between your student Shane and Coral. What do you do?
I mean, as I'm coming in, I kind of catch Chris's eye to see, like, is this something I need to? Is this handled? Is this?
This looks like Chris's face is like help.
Okay.
Some intervention would definitely be appreciated.
I actually think I start counting. I go, if you do not leave my booth in 3 seconds, I'm either gonna spill your secret or call a supervisor and get you suspended. Pick one for shoving someone who's spending their time and their day here to try to help you. All right, 3.
So as I'm hearing, I hear the exposition of.
Oh, dude, whatever.
Okay, I'm coming in from kind of behind and to the side towards.
That's like,
Shane.
dude, Shane, here comes Kerrigan. He's like,
Does he clear out before I get there?
yeah, they're going to try to take off unless you want to interpose. Because as soon as Matt telling Shane, hey, dude, here comes Kerrigan, he's going to be like, well, I forget you, Rainbow Bright.
Please do.
Yeah, then they'll try to take off.
Coral?
He's a bastard. Should be suspended. He shoved Chris. I'm really sort of. Can he get a detention at least? I got detention for shit like that. He should get detention.
3 weeks?
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Consider it done.
Maybe a little time with the school counselor.
Yeah, okay.
Emphasizing
He's
that,
got
you know,
issues to work out about himself, so yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I just don't understand what it is with young men. Thinking that
covering
they're
it.
going to make young women attracted to them by being rude to them and dominant, when really you just express affection. It's so fucking simple.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't work for me. But I don't really know what's going on here.
he's not too wait, who said that?
Zane.
Yeah, I just okay, ignore him. I go, he's not too interested in actually attracting young ladies, which might be part of the problem.
Yeah.
I just sort of just say he needs to go to the counselor, though. That's probably a good idea. He's got some issues.
That he does.
Well, someday he'll find somebody who likes these guns.
Hmm.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Speaking of issues, I think I nudge Catherine. I think we
Don't
have.
nudge me.
I'm sorry. I think we have a fun time coming up.
Yeah.
Ooh, should we pack up early? I vote pack up early and go hang out somewhere else.
Yeah.
Out of this school, which was my hell for years. Can we go anywhere else?
It can be pretty hellish, yes. I'm sending a text to Kyle to, make sure he heads straight home.
Um,
I think he texts back, "Magpie time."
yes.
Baby. So cute.
Can I take one of these coupons, Coral?
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys get free games anyway, so but sure, take this one.
God, I really told Professor Grail I'd be here till 2. I checked my watch.
It's like 1:30. This is the last lunch period that's coming through. I'm about to head back.
I'm sure we can get
here and come
register.
back. You're sure we can what?
I'm sure I can get access to the register and, fudge some numbers. It's fine. This is more important.
Okay.
It's mystery important.
Give Magpie a long look. If it's mystery important, I steal the Kevlar sample from the display.
I nod approvingly.
I can just order samples from DuPont on a student pass. It's great.
Oh, nice.
Where do we... Is it been established a place we would go to talk? In
Like
private?
job talk.
Yeah, job talk.
I mean, the Hang Giraffe would be a great little thing to throw in here. It's just across the street.
Oh yeah.
The teacher's lounge would be bizarre and hilarious as well.
I think Magpie would try and at least have a street between, her two lives.
Oh yeah.
Rather than do Magpie stuff at high school.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as a conversation in the parking lot in one of your cars, too. Just throwing it out there. I'm sorry, Jen, I talked over you. I apologize.
I think it'd be nice to reuse a location.
Hang Giraffe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already have the set.
You guys are saving me budget, so I appreciate it.
Yes.
So, yeah, Hang Giraffe. This is like 1:40 in the afternoon. It is the dead time. The waitress is basically sitting there organizing all the napkin holders and refilling the sauce, the condiment dispenser things. And the people who are here, the ones who don't really leave a whole lot, like they're here most of the day. ESPN's showing the 20th version of the exact same highlights from before. Low amount of music going on. You guys have a booth, I imagine, kind of like your booth.
Yeah.
And it's almost a serve yourself type deal. Like the waitress will get up, she comes around, then she goes back and does her side work. So you guys have,
We're so regular, she knows that she can just trust us to handle ourselves.
She basically knows what you guys are going to be drinking. She'll drink those drinks and then say,
Yeah, she drops off a black coffee.
Yeah. Leaves the pot on a little, metal disc and heads back to her work. So you guys are good to go. As you're sitting underneath, like a local photo of some event. I think it's either firefighter or police department oriented. Something happened in the Railstarp neighborhood. Is it a picture of a disaster, or is it a picture of some people getting some awards? And I'm specifically asking Zane if I can get the word out. Is it like an award ceremony? Is it just a photo op? Is it a disaster that affected Railstop at some point? what do you think the picture is that's above you guys at the booth?
I think it's cops after finally a legal takedown of some kind of Al Capone on tax fraud kind of situation.
Nice. Okay.
So it's like the team that's been working for 2 decades on trying to collect enough stuff, having their little celebration photo.
It's like the whole squad of like 6 or 8 guys, and like one of them has their foot mounted up high on like an upturned safe in the
Oh yeah,
right in front of the stoop of a building.
yeah. We
And they're
finally
all
got
like
him.
posing with their guns and like evidence.
And
Oh
it's
yeah, and it the headline.
picture.
The headline, if it's a
Go ahead.
oh sorry,
No, you're seeing the headline.
I picture it as like a newspaper picture, and the headline says something overly ambitious, like the rail stop threat has finally ended, or something like that.
Yeah, rail stop crime ring bust, and one of the guys, the youngest member of the team, because this is the old photo, is Roscoe Coltrane. It's the thing that your dad was in, maybe why you picked this booth. All right, so sorry for the interruption. I appreciate you guys letting me go on that fancy there. So the 4 of you were all gathered together with coffee or beer or wait. By the way, Coral, are you legal to drink?
Yeah, like 22.
Okay, cool.
So.
Yeah, so, take it away.
There's a super in town.
Okay.
Energy draining.
Bad guy, good guy, like
Yeah.
Electric
We're
energy,
talking-
light energy,
Power grid.
microwaves.
people energy,
I think the last one.
Ooh.
Oh, so it makes apathy. Everyone's gonna get lazy.
or like life draining, like vampire stuff.
I'm thinking the vampire type.
So like, but good guy or bad guy? Because if it's a good guy, who cares?
Well, I mean, we could use an extra hand.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the problem, but the main problem is also the Black Ops team, Black Hammers, is coming to take care of this problem.
We literally have 2 superhero teams in this city, and they think they need another secret ops team to come in.
Yeah,
I mean,
when it's
in my opinion, we have 1 superhero team, but
I mean, yes, we actually have one, but you know what I mean.
I mean, you wouldn't consider us a team?
I'm sorry. Please continue.
thank you. I don't want the Black Hammers on my turf.
No.
I want them to get here. Problem is solved. They turn around and go home.
Nobody gets hurt. No
I don't
innocence.
think that's, but no collateral damage.
Right. That's what I meant.
So do we know anything about this super? Age, height, weight?
They go by
Name.
Gravestone. Did I get any other further information?
Sorry, I hit the turn off the video instead of turn on the audio. I think maybe he like sent through a text with a bit of vitals on the on the individual.
I would open up the text and like just put it in the middle of us.
So what you get is Gravestone is of course his super name, and he has multiple counts of murder, extortion. He worked for a cartel in South and Central and South America. He was their Sicario or hitman, and then he came to America on the run from an opposing cartel, and that kind of pushed him in, and then got roped into being effectively a hitman. He has life draining capabilities, and he's obviously of Latinx descent. He appears to be in his 30s.
And as I say, we have a countdown clock on this. By tonight, Black Hammer are here.
So do we think that this gravestone fellow's already in town?
That's the idea I got.
Hmm. I'd reach into my satchel, and sandwiched between many layers of fabric is my iPad. And I lay it out in the center of the table and bring up the Google Maps for the town, or probably in personal annotated maps. And I'm like, well, he's already here. These are the places that do short-term room rental. And then here's all the dilapidated real estate where he could be squatting.
There's like small amounts of Airbnb and like one hotel, and then when you go to the dilapidated places, there's
Vast swathes of.
That narrows it down a little. Do we have any clue on a maybe target if this is a hit? Anybody important in town passing through?
Oh, that's a great question. I think
Like
that
a celebrity or...
you're trying to figure something out here. I think knowing an important or noteworthy figure who is here on a temporary basis would be a good difficulty. The tension is not in effect here.
Is Pipe Man going to use his one in head?
Yeah. I can, unless someone stops me. I know. He's totally here to...
It's the only way you'll learn if you you don't try.
Oh, don't forget, you guys can throw him a spark for teamwork if you wish.
Oh, yeah.
You are being normal. At least there's that.
That's true.
All right, so you start with a base of 4 because of your be normal mode and your stat of head.
Does anybody else care? You can't put out a fire if you don't know where it is. It's the first thing you need. So I'm going to put one of my own spark in.
There you go.
Anybody else?
Can we actually combine Spark as a group?
Yeah, I can spend it on my behalf.
I think it's one person can spend one spark.
No. It's actually it's one spark, but multiple people can help.
Okay.
So all 3 of you could each spend one spark.
Okay.
I'll spend the Spark to kind of, contribute to the conversation and,
I'm going to shepherd.
Yeah.
I'm going to shepherd my spark. Yeah.
That means you're giving one?
No, I'm keeping it penned up.
Oh,
am I able to? So, are we just asking essentially about
a hit target?
A hit target, and so I have a different question, and I think maybe I'll hold my spark for the different question.
Fine. That's fine.
All right. Yes.
So it looks like 5 dice.
6. I spent
6,
one.
Right. The one you got.
So what's the target?
You need evens, and your target is good, or 3 pounds.
All right. I got 3 evens and 1 oof. Did you say yes, tension?
It is not tension.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I succeed.
You succeed.
Oh yeah. Isn't someone's in town? They're playing a show.
Playing a show. Okay.
Some pop star or rock band or something. Taylor Swift.
No. But yeah, we'll say there's a pop star by the name of why not? Starlight. The band is called Starlight. It's an all-girl pop group.
Oh, nice.
And it's a thing that the city savers, like the gentrification group, is putting this on. This is like a big fundraiser for them.
Oh yeah, it would be horrible. Like, it's going to be a huge event, big crowds, perfect time for a big thing to go wrong.
What time does that start?
I don't know. Openers at 5.
It gives us a few hours.
So
They've
can
got
I
awesome
ask?
music. Good.
Can I ask if they have any relatives in the town? Is that something we can find out?
That is, yeah. So knowing actually it makes it super easy, right? You find out it's a group named Starlight. You do a little bit of research on the members of Starlight. Turns out that you're like rolling through, I'm sorry, but like a K-pop fandom group to try to find if there are any people related. And so I'm going to say it's a typical difficulty. No,
So
no tension.
so not the Starlight people,
Yeah, I was.
but the guy, the Gravestone. If
Gravestone.
Gravestone has any
Gravestone has
relatives.
any family that
Right.
is here. Oh, well, that is really interesting. You do have their name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Juan Alvarez. So that's going to be a little more difficult. I'll say that it's a good difficulty, but I still don't see tension as being involved here.
Okay. So I think I'm acting as a strategist.
I would agree.
I do think I'm being normal and not super.
I think you're being normal. It's a
Yeah.
normal thing, like just researching somebody.
Yeah. I do think I'm using my head. So I've got 5 dice, I think.
Okay, you're looking for 3 pals.
Okay. Whew. I think I'll spend a spark.
Okay.
A quick question. When you do a roll, can you only ever spend 1 spark at a time, or is it something where you can actually spend
That's a
multiple?
great question. When you are helping out another person, you can only spend 1 in teamwork. If you are spending it for yourself, you can spend as many as you wish.
Cool.
Could I help out by lending one? And
Absolutely.
I do charity work all over the place. I know a bunch of different Alvarez families.
Yeah.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
That makes sense.
And it's not lending. You actually do have to spend it. You do have to mark down there's no risk. So
Yeah, right.
Does anybody else want to
it
help?
seems like someone's still shepherding.
That's fine. All right, let's roll it. Okay. I have.
No, you have no oofs. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I see 5 evens.
Yep.
Wow. So you have to do a little bit of research because it turns out it's not an Alvarez, but due to marriage, like maybe I don't know if you hack or if you just are a good researcher that's got excellent Google queries, but you find out that a guy by the name of Benito Salazar is related to Alvarez by marriage. And Benito is a member of he lives in crap. I just have to pop over to make sure I get the name correct. He lives in the Arbor Forest subdivision, like the ritzy part, right on the border with Mainside Park. A nice house, really nice house.
So so the wife is who he's actually related to? Okay. What's her name? What's her deal?
Her name is Rosita Salazar, and she is a Mexican American. She immigrated here. She actually married Benito, who is a natural born American, and that's how she got her citizenship.
Okay. And is she like a stay-at-home wife? Does she work somewhere?
She basically a stay-at-home wife, but very involved in a lot of community activities. Upstanding member, runs the website for the City Savers, social media consultant kind of thing.
Okay.
And I'll be updating the NPCs.
All right. So he might be staying with them or might have reached out to them at very least. I give the information over to everybody else.
Yeah. Well, we've got a few hours before the event, so.
All right, we should probably split up. We've only got a few hours.
Hmm.
We need to case the event location. Somebody should probably knock on doors and speak to our local relatives.
Quick question. Can Shroud teleport other people with her?
That has not been established canonically, but I do not know the answer. Rich.
That's the great thing about this game, in my opinion, is if it's a thing that we think is really, really difficult, we'll just set a higher difficulty number. If it's within the kind of what feels like the penumbra of Shout's capabilities, then just say it's a higher difficulty and see if it happens.
Yeah, I think she probably does not do it very often.
And costumes. Or do people do we store them in a specific location, or do we all just keep our own stuff somewhere, wherever we keep it? Like, does the geeks shop, like, is there a little back room with equipment?
A bat cave.
Yeah, so to speak.
I feel like Geeks probably worked something out for us, or for y'all.
Yeah.
It's
That,
true. Threads, you always wear your costume because it's made of
Yeah.
threads.
But maybe some kind of cool, like, dead drop thing with a costume in it. And, like, our phones can unlock it, but otherwise they just look like some
Fake
out
electrical box or
or something. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Mine are probably just actual outfits from my different jobs in my truck. Pickup truck.
So
I got
I
you a
do-
mask, though.
I do not recommend Coral goes talking to the relatives.
No, I'm
I-
probably the one who should go talking to the relatives.
And I'll go
Coral,
too.
I think
Cool.
Coral goes to the stage, to case at the stage.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Coral.
Yeah,
Is this-
2 and 2 split is wise.
Do we think the show is in the high school football stadium, or is there some other?
That's exactly where it is. High school football stadium seems like the thing that's best suited for it. Plus, maybe it's a fundraiser for the high school. Catherine, what have you been asked to help out with for the Starlight concert that's happening tonight?
Oh,
Obviously, we'll have to blow it off, but it's a thing to feel terrible about.
Maybe some kind of chaperoning type thing, make sure the kids aren't making out underneath the
Bleachers.
underneath the bleachers and such stuff like that. There's no sneaking in of alcohol.
Oh,
that
nice.
kind of thing.
Did you
like
paint banners and murals or something?
No.
Okay.
No, I think she had a class do
yeah.
that.
That's great, guys. We get to help out. You're doing the thing I was asked to do. Good job. You get a grade for it, though. Suck it up.
Do my work. Yeah.
Cool. All right. It is 23 after. You guys good with taking a quick bio?
Yep.
All right. Let's take another 5. See you guys in a few. You guys were talking about splitting up, and I want to make sure I had it correctly. So we have Coral, or actually I have to use super names. So we have Shroud and Pipe Man on one team.
No, Pipe Man and Threads are going to the house Saladars, and then Shroud and
Magpie.
to the show.
Cool. Checking in. We started a little bit late. Want to make sure how much can people go another half hour?
Yeah, that
I
should be
can-
fine.
I have no problem with another half hour.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. All right. So let's pick up with Pipe Man and Threads. So you guys head by. I assume Threads. You've always got your costumes. One of your superpowers. It's like you're
Yep.
always free, but instead you're always, ready. I guess I don't know.
I'm always
Pipe
ready.
Man don't really wear a costume per se, so you guys could just head on over to the Salazar's home. So we come in. I'm going to ask you guys. There's this technique that I think is pretty fun that they do in the Gauntlet community from time to time. It's called Paint the Scenes, where I ask you questions to help describe the setting. So what is one, as you're pulling in, you can take a look on the neighborhood and you can see how well manicured and organized Arbor Forest subdivision is. But what is one thing, and I'll ask each of you to come up with a different one. One thing about this as you guys are driving, we'll figure out who's driving what, but as you're arriving here at Arbor Forest, was one thing that really sticks out about the attempt by the planners and architects to be ostentatious with this subdivision that maybe doesn't quite work. It could be easy. It could be, well, I'm pretty sure you guys hopefully know the vibe I'm going for. Kind of think of the idea of like McMansions, anything along the lines of one too many of X, or this Y thing doesn't fit in a regular subdivision type deal.
At first I was thinking like marble lions and whatever, but I think it's more interesting to have all kinds of roundabouts so nobody can drive fast. And in the middle of the roundabouts in Nebraska are like out of place sort of tropical palm kind of gardens. So they're super tall and they don't fit here at all, and they have to waste a ton of money on making these things not die somehow. I don't know.
That's great. That's great. It's kind of like how they have penguins in the Jacksonville Zoo. It's just like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, jaguars I get, okay, because of the football team, but like penguins? Okay, thank you. And so what about Jen? Did you have any ideas?
Just all of these giant McMansions are too close together. So it just looks really awkward.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna add in the detail, and this is just a thing that amused me. You know, the houses are literally like you could mow across it in just a few minutes, like 5 houses.
Mhm.
Every one of them go up by a number of 6. So it's like, 422, 428, but they're little, like there's no way you could fit other houses in between.
Right. God,
So
that's annoying.
stupidly ostentatious about that.
Most of the windows look into other people's windows.
It's like a narrow strip that you walk down with like one mower.
Also, like that pool and that pool area is gigantic, but even though that subdivision is, really compact, nobody thought to put sidewalks in to help people get to it. So you either are walking on grass the whole way through other people's yards,
or
you're driving to the clubhouse to go to the pool.
And I have to throw one to Tara because you took so much care coming up with. Do you have any paint the scene answer you'd like to throw in when you've been sitting on? If not, I don't want you to have to like worry about it.
So
But if you,
just to add up to the ostentatiousness of it, the gates on the outside are like on either side of the big, because obviously Arbor Forest has a really beautiful sign. But actually, both sides have a sign, the metal gates, and on the gates and on the sign are for some reason, God only knows, those fake gas lamps. It's just like, why? Why though?
these gas lamps actually date from 1835. They were shipped over by hand from London. Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys pull up to the Salazar's home. It's a McMansion stuck in a bunch of other almost identical but slightly different hued McMansions. There's the 3-car garage. You can hear the mower in the background and the barking of a dog who will probably receive that their owner, or I'm sorry, their caretaker will receive a citation for noise disturbance any moment now. And it is, I mean, you guys took off at like 1:30, so I figure it's like, 3:30, 4 o'clock, maybe. Some families are arriving home after picking up their kid. No, the bus doesn't run here. I mean, it could. There's bus stops at the end of but like they don't want the bus coming into the neighborhood. That's a nuisance. Plus all the
Oh,
cold.
yeah. Well, I park my motorcycle out front and go to the front door and knock on it.
Cool. So the woman who answers the door is maybe not that much older than you. Her hair is you can see it's very well styled and kind of a reddish, but it's obviously dyed. She would have very, very dark hair. She, Latinx features is based on your research. This is obviously Rosita answering the door herself. She looks. And oh, by the way, are you here too, Pipe Man, or were you doing something?
I would go around the side, and
Okay.
I would have asked for a ride on your motorcycle.
You totally got one.
So I'd go around the side looking for a hose outlet.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's totally dope. So she answers and says, "Hello."
Good afternoon, Miss Salazar.
Yes. Rosita, are you
Rosita.
something?
Yes, I'm here to inquire about some rumors that I've heard lately about a Juan Alvarez.
You immediately see her shoulders tense a little bit, and she seems to push it down and say, I'm sorry, who's that?" And she's lying. She's very obviously lying. She's
Juan Alvarez.
door. She's the door, because you open the door in. So she's kind of standing in the doorway, blocking it, but she hasn't shut the door on you yet. Sorry.
Mhm. And I'll actually suddenly put my foot in the door. You're, according to public records, you are his sister. You were married to a Benito Salazar just 2 years ago.
Yes. Because I haven't seen my brother in a long time. A very long time. And I know that he has done some bad things, but I know my brother's keeper.
If he got in touch with you, would you let somebody know about that?
Of course. Why would I? I don't want to get in any trouble. Or my husband have a good life here. I wouldn't. I would tell someone.
I would never hold you responsible for something that your brother does,
Are
of
you
course.
from the police?
Hmm?
Are you from the police or the FBI or something?
No, you can call me Threads. I'm just a local community activist working with some friends, trying to make sure that Juan doesn't do anything dangerous while he's here.
Nice. So we'll cut away from that. I think that led right up to a die roll to see if you convince her to share what she may or may not know. But we're going to cut to the outside as you sneak around. And I think it's a thing where we see Zane walking down and we see the view of Zane looking at the neighbor's house. And there's like say there's like an older man and he's doing some kind of exercise, watching a video, like he's got a headset on, some kind of VR set, and he's doing some kind of VR exercise thing. And but you just walk right past and you come around and they've got a hose set up in the back and sprinkler system and everything like that. What do you want to do here? Trying to get inside?
Wrong button. Okay. Yes, and I'm in like maintenance outfit with the name tag and whatever. So yeah, I consider turning into water and squeezing through the hose into the inside, but then I just decide to try the door instead. Like if they have a rear door and if there's nobody around.
Door's locked.
Okay. I don't want to break in. So yeah, I guess I'll sigh and decide I have to try to shimmy through from the hose to the inside, probably utility room or something. Mostly trying to see if, obviously they wouldn't say he's here if he's here, but see if I can hear anything or find anything like a bag or something that would give us a clue about what he's up to or if he's actually here.
Cool.
So breaking in.
Yes. Two questions. The first one's just color, trying to understand it. I know that Zane can turn, or Pipe Man can turn into water. Does he have the ability to like bring his clothes with him? I'm totally okay if you say yes. I always have to ask the question because like my brain must know the answer, and it's logical. I just want to know so I can have it in my mind's eye.
I was thinking yes. It
Cool.
could make different interest if no, but I was thinking yes. I was picturing it just like Human Torch, where just
Okay.
everything turns into.
Totally works for me. No problems whatsoever. So you do that. That's what happens.
It is awkward. It's kind of like trying to squeeze into a Mary Poppins bag, though, because it's not like instant whoosh. So he is like, put a foot in first and then squeeze like that.
So what we're going to do is set a roll that cover kind of the entire breaking and entering and doing a bit of the investigation. Cool?
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So that way we don't have to do a bunch of discrete rolls because I think just for time, that seems like it would be problematic. So I'm going to say that getting in, not getting caught, and finding any evidence if Alvarez is here is a remarkable feat. So you need 4 successes. There's a possibility that this is stressful, right? You don't want to get caught. You don't want the police to be called. So I am going to say that tension is in effect.
Nice. So I'm guessing it's super and feet.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, absolutely. Because you're moving and you're being super.
Okay. And then using powers is +2.
Yep, it sure is.
For 5. So I'm going to spend 2 spark. Can I do 2 on myself?
Absolutely. You can spend as many as you want.
Okay.
Tension is an effect, and the difficulty for this is 4, which means you could lose up to 4 spark from this activity.
Yeah. Oh.
You can't go negative in spark, but if you go down to a 0, what happens is you go into a state called down and out, and it just means you can't do anything super until you refresh that spark and kind of regain your edge.
Okay. This could go badly then.
It could.
But I'll do it.
refresh scene anyway. I'm clearing the dice for you to make it easier.
Okay, thanks. So I could maybe get help if Threads is being a distraction, maybe?
If Threads is done shepherding her spark and wants to contribute teamwork, that's okay. If not, that's fine too.
How many dice have you got pulled up so far?
I have 7 at the moment. Aiming for, what am I aiming for? 5?
4.
4.
4 successes.
So
All right, I'll give you a spark.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
It's dangerous.
All right, 4. Here we go. 1, oof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pows.
All those 6s. Wow.
So I lose 1 more from something. Maybe there's a close call or something like. You can tell me what we find.
No, well, do you think it's a close call or just from the stress of the situation?
I think if there's any sign of Juan here, there might also be sign of like his modus, his MO of draining people, which could just be like a blow to my heart. Like, oh, I don't know what that could be. Like if he keeps skulls around or something.
And head through the plumbing and everything and sneak in, and you find that they've got a little guest bedroom. And inside the guest bedroom, there's like I'm going to say like a crucifix. Like there's a big crucifix on the wall, and you find there's like a duffel bag, dusty duffel bag that's got a few pieces of gear that you can tell are obviously like weapons cleaning equipment. There's some books in here that are in Spanish, and a bunch of changes of clothes that are obviously not worn by Rosita and probably not worn by Benito either. And you also see that he's got a little black book in here. It's written in Spanish. It looks like it's got a bunch of names and information. And then on the dresser, the very nice dresser, there is a little pamphlet for Starlight, the K-pop group that's coming through here, and he's circled a couple things, and there are a couple pictures that are shoved in the pamphlet of particular aspects of the high school football stadium.
Okay, so yeah, it's just unnerving. I feel like there's maybe going to be like some mass calamity, and I have hesitation and insecurity that we can do anything about it. Like, oh no, maybe we're too late. Maybe this guy's a real superhero and we're just like street people. Maybe this is a world-class guy villain.
Ooh,
and this is like, we've gotten to comic books now.
All right. So we circle back outside, and then we're going to jump over to this football stadium. You just dropped that, like, you know, in talking as Chris Coates, you know that she wouldn't aid and abet if they were going to hurt some people. I think you're trying to talk her into confiding in you if there are any fears that she has. So let's go ahead and bring that to a roll. I'm going to say that she really wants, like, you've made a compelling case. So I'm going to say this is a good difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
But I think tension is involved here because she's also putting a lot of trust in you. And yeah, I think there are things that she may ask of you vis-a-vis her brother if she puts faith in you. So, yeah.
All right.
3 success is what you need, and tension's in effect.
All right. Well then, I think I'm con artisting a little bit.
I agree.
I think that I'm leveraging my super identity to prove that I'm trustworthy.
Very clever. Nice to work that in to save yourself from going with being normal. I agree. You're being a superhero here, effectively.
And I'm trying to convince her with my words. So there's that. 3.
7 dice you're starting with.
Yeah. I feel pretty comfortable with the 7 I've got here.
Odds.
Yeah, I might want to try and rope my super senses into this.
Okay. Yeah. How do you see that coming in, though? I'm curious.
Sort of looking for any fabric that is moving as though it is on a body. Like, I would recognize Pipe Man's outfit from the noise. And, Rosalita's right in front of me. I kind of assume that her husband isn't home yet.
That is a fair assumption.
But also, he's a businessman, so I expect him to be wearing a suit. It's probably, is it summertime, right? So it's probably like a linen poly blend or a light cotton.
Okay. It's like, is it summertime? Because we had high school in session, so
Right. So it's fall, maybe.
fall works. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I have relatively decent expectations for what her husband would be wearing versus what somebody else might be wearing.
And that's something you can kind of bring into the conversation is that so-and-so's been here if you get that information. It works.
Yeah. I can sort of loop that into the conversation and be like, if you aren't comfortable here, maybe we could talk somewhere else.
Nice. All right, give me that roll.
All right, let's see here. Whew, 4 successes.
All right.
And no roofs.
Nice. That's even better. She leaves you inside, which gives you an immediate feeling that he's not here. At least not at this moment. Because you just know people well enough with your good jaw. She would have stepped outside if he were here. She beckoned you to come inside. And she doesn't seem like she's ready to move out of the foyer area. And of course, this is ostentatious enough to have a foyer instead of an entrance. She says, he came into town, and I didn't know, but I think he's going to hurt some people. I think he's here not to see me, and I don't know where he's going or anything. But I mean, please don't let him know that I told you, okay? He can hurt people. He's not normal.
Why do you think he's going to hurt people?
He said he was just going to be here for a little while. He was coming into some money. And there's only one thing he does for money, and that's hurt people. I have a good life here. I don't want to be sent home. I mean, this is my home. Do you know?
I understand.
You can pull people's lives away from them. If you're lucky, maybe you just feel worse, but often he kills people.
That's disturbing, but we have a good team assembled. We're going to do everything we can to stop it.
Okay, I will pray for you. Do you know, do you have pictures of him, or do you know what he looks like?
I've seen his costume, but I haven't seen him.
She reaches in and pulls out her phone and she kind of swipes and shows you out of the little gallery that they evidently had taken a selfie. This is from last night, and you can see that he's in his maybe pushing 30, and it looks a bit like her, but he's obviously a much older brother than she is.
I bring up my phone and I'm like, may I?
Of course, yes.
We do a quick airdrop exchange or what have you.
Yeah, you do that, and then your phone buzzes right before you kind of click it closed, and it's like, you have a new text from Rachel. And it just says, it's me. And then a smiley face, I think.
I sigh and dismiss it for now.
Okay. My husband doesn't know about what my brother has done. and I really do not want him to know.
When did you last see your cousin?
He left this morning. He said he will be out of my hair by tonight. He still has his bag upstairs. But if he found anyone took some of his stuff, he would go crazy. I went through his stuff. He doesn't have any guns. Not that he left. Maybe he took some with him. He had a big jacket on.
Could I look at his bag? I promise I won't take anything.
Okay. And she'll lead you upstairs towards the guest bedroom. So, Zane, I'm not going to get you caught. You successfully made your roll. Is this the thing where you just kind of hide in a closet? Are you actually already out of there? Pipe man.
Yeah, I was assuming I would take anything indicative of that, like Magpie might know what would be a target or indicate specific where he would go or where he might be. And
You'll see on the pamphlet, like, it's a manufactured K-pop group of 7 girls, but there's one girl whose head's circled.
sure, yeah. So I would have kind of taken those things and then gone out physically the backyard, and then so I would have been calling up the other two and telling them what I've found and whatever.
Awesome. So we'll do this brief bit of Threads doing her investigation. Then you can have a conversation, and that will push us towards the scene at the football stadium. You guys can catch up there. We'll say that it's been a bit of time. Maybe it's like 4:30 or so. So yes, she leads you upstairs. You see this duffel bag. It's in the room. The crucifix. There's the pamphlet's gone. Is the pamphlet gone, Adam? Yeah. So no pamphlet. Not that she would know there's a pamphlet. Did you say? He has some books in there. I mean, I lent them to him. I don't know if he's going to read them. I'm sorry. That doesn't matter. But there's his stuff.
All right. And I let her watch me as I paw through the duffel bag. What do I find?
Oh, you find that he has some like boots in there that have residue blood on them. There's some like grave dust at the bottom of the bag that has fallen off of his clothes. Evidently, when he drains people, he can actually drain them to the point where they like become grave dust. And you see he's got several sets of clothing, and then there's implements for cleaning weapons, but there are no guns in here. There's an old holster, and then probably like a K-bar knife, a skinning knife kind of thing. That has been used, but cleaned, but yes, used.
Mm-hmm. All right, and of course I'm pawing over everything with gloved hands.
Cool, yeah.
Rosalia might not have any idea where my gloves came from.
She doesn't ask because she doesn't think of it like weird.
Oh, well, of course she'd have gloves. And I stand up from over the duffel bag and dust my hands off and say, thank you.
Of course, Threads. Thank you for trying to help, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my brother. Well, I don't know what to say.
What he does isn't your fault.
She nods. There's definitely like a heavy amount of guilt in her interaction with you, and like guilt that she's ratting out her brother, guilt that like when you say it's not her fault, that she maybe doesn't completely believe that because it is her brother. Maybe she's lied for him before, sure. But yeah, she'll quickly lead you out. So we pick up with a phone call with Pipe Man calling out to you guys as you're arriving at the football stadium. And it's the point where they're already doing like the early people are going like VIP where they can visit with Starlight and the like, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on. We'll say that it's it's fall, so maybe darkness is coming in a couple hours, and it's an earlier show. We'll say that it's as soon as it's dark is when Starlight's opening act will come out. You guys get a call from Zane.
Kerrigan.
I think he's already on the move. He was at the house but without his weapons, and he's targeting this girl. I try to read her name poorly, mispronouncing it.
Hmm.
I'm afraid this has become out of our league.
I look at Magpie.
I kind of just raise my eyebrow at this. That out of our league.
I don't think there's anybody else here to handle it.
We're the ones on the ground. So
that's all I know. I'm sure Threads has, or I guess Threads you could have relayed. We could be in touch again at this point. So Threads sent you a picture.
Yeah, you get a picture of one and another note, text saying that Juan's got his armaments and left this morning.
All right.
Well,
I say we've got to scout this out.
yeah.
He's got to be there already in position somewhere. So
Probably somewhere high up, line of sight.
got it.
The area.
I'll start there, and I just start poofing up into shadow areas. Like literally, I just start being like, poof, shadow, anything, poof, shadow, anything. Like that's.
I think I would, since I have, I guess, access to the backstage.
As the teacher.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, I would start heading towards that. Maybe kind of doing the kind of what's it called? I even said the word chaperoning duty as I go. You know.
I sort of.
Sheila, I see that.
Should we try to get them to cancel the show?
We want to control where he is.
All right, I'm just going to keep vamping.
Yeah.
Or not vamping.
Awesome. So your non-vamping maneuver to try to find him or potentially flush him out is definitely wrong with tension. I think if you want to just find him, that's good difficulty. If you want to get the drop on him, then that.
For now, I just want to find him.
Difficulty's 3.
I'll make a call once I understand what position that puts me in.
I also want to say that I've got my duffel bag that I collected with my costume and standard equipment.
7. Right, I have 9 spark to do that with, or not 9 spark. Sorry, 9 dice to do that with.
Go for it. I'm going to clear dice before you roll.
Ah!
Ooh!
I rolled so well. This is that moment where I don't now.
2 successes, 2 pals, 4 oofs. Now, I did say tension was in effect, but the good news about that is the difficulty of the roll is the max amount of spark you can lose in something. That way you don't burn yourself out on a 2 difficulty something just because you happen to accidentally roll 6 ones. That's the worst.
Right.
So that means you lose 3 spark and you fail. So you start poofing around. What is the one thing that you get through? I don't know. How are you keeping in contact? I mean, it's not like you guys have. Do you have communicators?
I mean, the geek got us communicators.
So you guys are using the geeks communicators. I can't remember what the acronym is.
Sheila.
So you're talking back and forth through Sheila. What is the last thing you say before he?
It's a drop on me. So far nothing. Like I'm about to say nothing.
So far no.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
It's not great last words.
Yeah, it's not great last words. So we're short on time. So I want to kind of progress things. You Yeah. So I would have used a different bad things happening if we had a little bit more time, but instead it's just you disappear for a little bit. Magpie, you and also Threads and Pipe Man all hear her kind of cut off. And I think Sheila, if I remember, she was a little bit of an AI, so she'll say, "I'm sorry, that transmission was cut off abruptly, and the communicator has been removed."
And like I straight away, yeah. He's in. Our target is in the light rigging. I'm going up.
All right.
Quick, very quick snapshots, speedy montage of her suiting up.
Oh,
take
sweet.
out the grappling hook.
Okay, that sounds fun. And then how is it that Threads, you and Pipe Man arrive on the scene, riding on your bike
Oh yeah.
together?
Also, I think I'm going to be that guy. I think. So I imagine the stadium has a bunch of big banners promoting this concert event.
Absolutely.
With the different starlets and so on. Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm going to turn those into a ramp that I can ride up deep into the stadium.
Oh yeah,
without having to like cut through the crowds or run or anything.
Just do that. That's too cool to like have a potential failure. That just looks awesome. So like, what is Pipe Man doing on the back of the bike there? What is his expression that we draw on the comic
there? Holding on to the back, really. My brother is the thrill seeker. I'm not as much. I'm more of a wimp actually. So it, like legs kind of flying, kind of.
Nice. Cool. So we will cut to, just for the sake of time, up in the light rigging, we have the knocked out right now. Knocked out. You're not out of spark, so you'll soon be coming awake, Shroud. But he got the drop on you and basically clocked you in the back of the head, and that's how you lost 3 spark. And he sees you coming up, and you see Greystone is in full costume. He's got a big sniper rifle in his hands, and he's probably got his like boot on the side of Shroud's head, like threatening them.
He sees me coming up, you said? Okay.
I mean, grappling hook, I'm imagining you're not kind of, but he's also been made aware. Someone got...
I had to... I didn't really have time to do this silently. Yeah, I need to just get in there.
He says, "I'll kill this one."
Are you invulnerable?
I'd be stupid not to say yes.
So no. Okay. I don't unslung my railgun thing that I have for, people who are like the Hulk. And I just take out the batons. Moment's thoughts, press a button, and there's like little 3 lights going up the side. 1 light goes up. And the end kind of glows slightly.
Oh, the good news, Shroud, is that you are now awake.
Oh, yay.
The good news is it's because he's kicked you off of the light rigging and you are falling.
Oh.
Pipe Man and Threads, you fly in on your motorcycle and come down maybe like on the ring around the stadium, and you see up by one of the lighting fixtures, you see Shroud, and you see her rainbow hair, so you know it's her, and she is falling. What do you do?
Trying to think if there's some kind of fastball special.
I have an idea.
Pipe Man, the water dude, maybe there's a thing he could do too.
Yeah, so the first thing is just to be under them and catch the fall, but that's too far away and I can't do that.
Are there curtains on the stage?
Can I just say one thing? If only there was some darkness.
Yeah. Someone turn off a light and let me.
Yeah, the sun's like still setting, which is my hard move when you like
Yeah. No, as I see that, and the tires of my motorcycle have hit cement or structure. Basically, I don't need the ramp anymore. So they come over to generate a whole bunch of shade in the stadium.
Oh, nice.
Oh, shade. All right.
Shade? Great.
Yeah, I think what that could be then is you're trying to give Shroud the ability to teleport herself to safety by giving her shade, right? So it sounds almost like you're effectively teamworking Shroud to have a role here. So I'll say that this is, it doesn't seem impossible. This seems like just getting your wherewithal and teleporting yourself to shadowy safety.
Yeah.
So I'll say that it is a good difficulty. Tension is in effect because if you fail, or even if you only have a moderate amount of success, is going to hurt.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna spend a spark. And I'm gonna attempt to teleport behind Magpie.
Nice. Trying
Back
to
up.
help Magpie back her up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
Cool.
god! It's so bad. I mean, I think I passed still, but
Yeah, you got success, but I think that draws you out of spark, right?
it will draw me down to 1 spark.
All right, yeah, you're hurting, girl. So the shade comes up, gives you just enough shadow to teleport away. You pop up onto the light fixtures and nearly swoon and fall down. You've got Magpie's back, and maybe you look cool. And yeah, Magpie, you were facing down with Gravestone, and he says, "I touch you, you're dead."
You'd have to touch me first.
About that. I would like. Well, no, you guys do something cool. I feel like I don't want to take that from you. You go do something cool. Sorry.
I think I Magpie running in, like getting 1 foot in behind his calf to kind of like force him to a knee, as I could have come in behind to like try and like smack him around the back of the head.
Okay, cool. So if this were a full game and not me trying to keep you guys around too long, if this were a full game, this would be a big evil guy, a big final boss type deal, and we would use what's called the total threat difficulty. And total threat difficulty is a very high total target number that people can kind of take down so that it starts getting easier over time. But instead, I'm just going to set 1 difficulty because I'd kind of like to see this brought to a kind of conclusion rather than us quickly stopping and waving our hand. So I'm going to say it's remarkable difficulty for you to be able to get him handled without taking damage. And definitely tension is in effect. Any spark loses draining life from you.
Okay, so I'm doing the whole super thing.
Yep.
That's 3. Tools?
Yeah.
Platforms and things? Yes, or would you think, or maybe it's feet? It's 3 either way.
I think it sounds like the batons are the thing that you're doing, so.
Okay, so that's 6. And then both gadgetry and highly trained. And that's so 10.
Wow. Nice.
I'll throw in a spark.
Sure. You've got 10, why not?
Yeah.
I'm going to clear dice. So yeah,
thank you. So that's an 11.
I would want to help, but I don't know how I can from the ground.
1 oof and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes.
Whoa! Oh my god!
All those dice. That is just not fair. You own him. Like he
Yeah.
was ready. He took out the shroud person, and then you nailed him. What does it look like?
I think he would try and throw a few swings and stuff, but I wouldn't be there whenever he swung, and
Nice.
I would mainly just using one leg, using a bit of leverage kind of between his legs, and then just putting my knee into the back of his knee. I would just make him basically face plant.
Nice.
And then while he was on the ground, just to make sure, I would just baton crash the back of the head to make sure he doesn't get up instantly.
And you KO him because like this might have been cut for time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you blitz him. That is actually a mighty fine roll to take out a bad guy on anyway. So
I quickly run to Coral just to make sure she's like can stay standing.
No, as soon as the guy is down and tied up, I definitely fall. Like I'm like, oh, don't feel so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just rest here for a second. Excuse me. I'm like, oh.
Threads and Pipe Man, how is it you guys handle any of the tumult? Because there's a huge fight going on in the light fixtures. How do you distract people? Do you assure them and kind of take over? What does it look like? We're not going to go to dice. I just want to kind of get an idea of what you're doing in those moments.
I would probably try to make my way to the stage below them and wait for someone when they're gonna fall to catch them on my body, basically, because I can heal and they probably can't. That would be my plan.
Awesome. Yeah.
So then when Coral did actually fall, maybe I caught them and then had a brief moment where I should have remembered maybe doing this before and failed to do so.
Fun.
This feels familiar, but
yeah. This is pretty close for us. This is new.
But it's kind of not new.
Yeah, Coral would probably like pause and be like, look at you and then be like, okay, that's enough of that.
And then
I think.
and then just try to sell it to the crowd like it was a stunt on purpose or something. Like, hey, we've got a carnival act before the show.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So with that, we'll just quickly go around, give you guys each a round of epilogue so that we can tie things up here. Gosh, though, this was super fun. So, so the epilogue is basically the last few panels of each comic where we see each of your characters at. It could be leading forward to future adventure. It could also be an epilogue of like, this is the last bit of your guy or girl as a hero kind of deal. Whatever you'd like, just something to put the character to bed, since this was a quick 2-shot, and I do appreciate you guys all participating in it. Alex, did you want to go first with epilogues?
I think Catherine getting home, like dropping the duffel bag of equipment. Kyle kind of like coming out of his room, like, checking up on her.
Oh, he's got his phone. He's like got the footage of you in the fight, scrubbing back and forth, going, "This was amazing."
Yeah, and Magpie's like rubbing some like bruise on her shoulder and like, and then he's, he kind of tones it down a little bit and then asks if she wants like a tea or something. And she's just like, "Thanks, kid."
Nice. So, Tara, what do we see for Shroud?
Shroud resigns from her position at Mindbenders. She's over having to do this menial like, call me when you want to pay me a real salary. And just right. And just walks.
What is she? She paid bills, man. I mean, I'm sorry, they. Sorry, I can't.
That's okay. Yeah, they'll figure it out. But they'll figure it out. They're very, very smart. So maybe go back to school. This may be what they're going to end up.
Nice. Cool. And then what about Pipe Man? What do we see from him?
I think we zoom away from Mindbender and then back to Mindbender, and he has a third job since there was an opening. And he's sitting behind the desk waiting for people to get through, putting in clues or whatever, following the rules, trying to follow the operations manual that was left behind. And then he gets a text from the girl he's been seeing that she has a whole bunch of kind of annoyances she wants to load upon him, and then he kind of just
honey-do list. That's awesome.
but then he just shuts those messages and like hesitantly types one off to Coral to say, could we get a drink? And he's like really hesitant and kind of sweaty, and then like sends it with cringed eyes or whatever, like, oh my gosh.
Ah,
Oh, I love it.
cool. And then Threads. What is your epilogue?
So I'm down at a local charity collection center where people, donate their clothes en masse, and they practically have to like put it in dumpsters or silos because there's so much of it. And a lot of it gets rejected because it's not quality enough to, hang on a rack and then sell. So I've got sort of an understanding with this group that sometimes I come by and I take the rejects for fabric recycling and research. So I'm like filling up some saddlebags on my motorcycle. And goodness, I want to rope in Rachel.
Okay.
But
okay with
I want to be like clearly not a creepy high school girlfriend thing, because no.
I'm okay with that. I didn't try to force it or anything.
Oh, of course, no. I mean, kids have crushes that are questionable all the time. But so I take that stuff off and I'm like back in my studio turning it into new fabric, and Rachel's there like doing her homework as I'm just doing this busy work, and occasionally, I'll look up and say an encouraging word.
Fun.
And I'll turn like just this pile of used clothing garbage into a suit. And, the last panel is me like taking it back to the donation center or like to a homeless shelter where it's just like, here you go, suits you can actually take to an interview in.
Nice. Cool. Well, that will bring our two-shot of Hit the Streets to a close. Thank you all so much for participating in the game and giving it a good go. I really enjoyed playing with you. And with that, we'll go ahead and bring the broadcast to a close. Thank you all so much again. And thanks for anyone watching.
Thank you.